when my heart is in dismay. Keep on hoping for a brighter day. Well, I know that something's gotta change before right now. In DC for Lumbee Day. Hey, ha, 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 hey, ha, 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 hey, ha, ha, ha. Yeah, ha, 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 hey, ha, 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 hey, ha, ha, ha. Hey, ha, 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 hey, ha, 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 hey, ha, ha, ha. Hey, ha, 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 hey, ha, 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 hey, ha, ha, ha. An existence so beautiful, so colorful, deep-rooted in originality. Eye candy of shallow minds, that was her reality still. She walks around with a smile for the whole wide world to see. Inside to scream and free yourself from strains of society. Brown skin, why do you hide the pain within? Brown skin, brown skin. Day in, day out, it's the same. Living by the standards of a male domain. She can't help but recognize the stares, cause of who she's talking to or the clothes she wears. Yet she holds her head up high for the whole wide world to see. Inside to scream and free yourself from strains of society. Brown skin, why do you hide the pain within? Brown skin, brown skin, brown skin, why do you hide the pain within? Brown skin, how long will you continue to pretend that who you know where you go won't face the life you live? That what you do where you be will catch up with you in the end. Yes, live your own life, don't worry about the need to please. Be the queen of your own society. Brown skin, brown skin, brown skin, brown skin. That song was called Brown Skin. I wanted to dedicate it to all of our women, our queens from our tribe. It's a song that's meant to empower and encourage you in your daily walk, regardless of your age, if you're a young woman or an older woman. Each one of us is special and unique in our own way, and we should never forget it. And this next song I want to dedicate to everyone that's in attendance tonight. It's a song called Native People. Lost in the politics,
lost,
trying to make some sense of it.
Sense of it.
Do I drop my head or
yeah? yet instead do I turn the other cheek. Native people, the power lies within to become strong and have our voice heard. Follow the ways of our ancestors, building our nation in goodness and in love. Unsure if they'll ever see. But today it starts with me. Do I lift my voice and make the choice to be proud endlessly? Native people, the power lies within to become strong and have our voice heard. Follow the ways of our ancestors, building our nation in goodness and in love. Niyayako way unkatashay's name. Niyayako way unkatashay's name. Niyayako way.
Thank you.
All right, big hand for Charlie Lauer, if you don't mind, please. Oh, come on now, you can do better than that. A big, big hand for Charlie. Well, I tell you what, it's an honor to be here tonight, and this is a historic event for the Lumbee tribe, and we are so grateful and thankful to be able to be here at the Smithsonian Museum of American Indian. I tell you what, this is a wonderful privilege, and we want to welcome you and thank you for participating tonight in this program. I would like for you, if you would, maybe you're sitting at a table. I see a lot sitting on the side, and I would like for you, if you would, to stand and maybe just speak to someone and tell them your name. Down home in Lumbee land, here's what we like to ask people that we're meeting. What do we like to ask them? Who's your people? So stand up, shake someone's hand, and ask them who's your people if you don't know them. All right, I hope you've met someone you didn't know, and I hope you introduced yourself to them, and maybe you've already asked them for a loan. I'm not sure. I hope you didn't do that. But anyway, we want to go ahead and get started with our program for this afternoon. Again, we want to welcome you here tonight. Thank you for coming and participating in Lumbee Days here at the Smithsonian. Thank you so much. I would like to say first and foremost, I want to thank our tribal administrator and our tribal chairman and all the staff down at the Turtle for putting this together and planning this. Let's give them a big hand if you don't mind. Our tribal chairman, our tribal administrator, Dr. Frida Porter, let's give them a big hand and thank them for what they've done here in putting this program together. We hope you will enjoy the presentation tonight and everything that we're going to do. We're going to invite Reverend Jimmy Hammonds, if he would, up to the podium at this time, and he will do our invocation and blessing. Reverend Jimmy Hammonds. He is not here, I don't think. So we're going to go off program and ask Reverend Terry Hunt if he would come up and ask, do an invocation and also the blessing. Reverend Hunt, if you would, please.
Let us pray. Most holy and righteous God, we stand before you in your presence. Thankful, God, for all that you have blessed us with in this life. God, as we look around and we see all of these persons who have traveled so far to come and to celebrate Lumbee Days. God, we're your people, and we thank you for our culture, our heritage. We thank you, God, for making us the people that we are. You have blessed us. You have undergirded us with your strength and with your love. And now, God, as we celebrate this weekend, we pray, God, your blessings upon this time. We ask, God, that you would anoint it and that you would use it for the upbuilding of your kingdom. Bring us together that we could share one with another in the love that you have for us. And so, God, bless our time. Bless this weekend. Bless those who will present. Bless those who will receive. And God will honor you and will praise you and will give you all the glory and the praise. In the matchless and the powerful name of your Son, Jesus the Christ, we offer this prayer. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Hunt. We're going to have now our colors and our Eagle staff and with our Lumbee Warriors Association along with Mr. Reggie. You may be seated. Thank you, Lumbee Warriors Association. Now we're going to ask Miss Danielle McLean if she would come to the podium for some introductions.
Good evening, everyone. Tonight I have the pleasure of introducing Congressman Richard Hudson. Congressman Hudson is serving in his third term in the United States Congress, representing North Carolina's 8th Congressional District. Richard represented Robeson County from 2013 through 2016 until the congressional districts were redrawn. Richard has been a great friend and ally to the Lumbee tribe and has worked hard to pass legislation that rightfully grants the Lumbee tribe federal recognition. In Congress, Richard is committed to working across the aisle to find solutions to create jobs, cut spending, and keep our homeland secure. He serves on the powerful House Energy and Commerce Committee and has several bipartisan bills signed into law demonstrating that hard work and bipartisanship can lead to results. As an outspoken supporter of our nation's military and veterans, Richard has introduced bipartisan legislation to improve veterans' access to health care and fix the Department of Veterans Affairs. He has the privilege of representing Fort Bragg, the largest U.S. Army installation in the world, known as the epicenter of the universe. As the voice for this critical installation in Congress, Richard is committed to ensuring our service members are prepared for the battlefield and their families are cared for at home. Richard is an avid hunter and outdoorsman. He and his wife Renee and their son Lane live in Concord and attend Crossroads Church. Please join me in welcoming Representative Richard Hudson.
Thank you so much. Welcome to Washington, D.C., an island surrounded on all sides by reality. It's great to have you here, and I love the way we started. Who are your people? My people came to Robeson County 7 generations ago. We had a family farm called Saddle Tree. Y'all know where that is? So I know who my people are. As I look around this room, I see my people. And they may have changed the lines around so that Robeson County is not in my district anymore, but Robeson County will always be in my heart. And the Lumbee people will always be in my heart. And my good friend Robert Pittenger is doing a great job representing you in Robeson County. And he and I work together very closely. And we're not going to stop till we get what we need, and that is fairness. That is fairness. I look around here, another thing I see is I see a lot of veterans. You know, Lumbee people have a proud tradition of serving in the U.S. military. And I just want to say thank you to our veterans, and if there are any active duty folks here today, thank you for your service. I also want to say to my good friend, Chairman Godwin, what a tremendous job you're doing. Just tremendous leadership. You know, in the Bible it says, without a vision, the people perish. This man has a vision. This man has the vision. He's pointing us in the right direction. And I appreciate your friendship, and thank you for your leadership. I'm not going to take a whole lot longer because I want to hear from Robert Pittenger, who's going to be speaking to us next. And I can tell you he's a real champion. He's tireless. Every time I see him, he brings up the Lumbee people and the legislation. And, you know, like I said, all we're asking for is fairness, and we're not going to stop until we get full recognition. And with Senator Burr in the Senate, he's been a tremendous champion. He's the leader, and we're going to follow Burr's lead, and he's going to get us there, working with Robert Pittenger and Senator Burr. But I just thank you for the opportunity to be here with you today, to bring greetings to you, and thank you. What a beautiful presentation today. It's great to see our queens over there and princes. Thank you for all you do. Thank you for being here with us, and God bless each and every one of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Congressman Hudson. Congressman Robert Pittenger is serving in his 3rd term in the United States House of Representatives, representing the citizens of North Carolina's 9th Congressional District. Congressman Pittenger's district is home to many from the Lumbee community and half of the tribe's territory. As a member of the House Committee on Financial Services, the Congressman has led efforts to target terrorism, financing, and our mission to defeat Islamic terrorism. Financial Services Chairman Jeb Harsling appointing Congressman Pittenger as the Vice Chair of Terrorism and Illicit Finance Subcommittee, as well as serving as the Chairman of the Congressional Task Force on Terrorism. Congressman Pittenger also serves on the Financial Institutions and Monetary Policy Subcommittees. Congressman Pittenger has been a strong advocate for the Lumbee recognition, sponsoring the Lumbee Recognition Act and meeting with congressional leadership to ensure that the Lumbee community receives the recognition they deserve. He has arranged meetings for Chairman Godwin with members of the House, the Senate, and the administration to ensure that the voice of the Lumbee tribe is heard. Congressman Pittenger is married with 4 children and 10 grandchildren. Join me in welcoming Congressman Pittenger.
Thank you so much. Good evening. How we doing? I love the spirit of the Lumbee tribe. You know, you're a brotherhood. Richard Hudson, where's Richard? Richard and I are fraternity brothers. And we know something about a brotherhood. And that's what I love about the Lumbee people. I've been to your powwows, I've been to your tribal council meetings, and I love the spirit of the people. I love the young people like Kaya, who brings the traditions into the Boys and Girls Clubs. of the Lumbee tribe. You offer so much to our community, to our state, and we're grateful for the vision that you have, the work ethic, the commitment for values, your faith in God, all the things that are so important, you embellish. So I thank God for each of you, for what you stand for. Let me say to you, I know that you have waited, and those who preceded you have waited since 1888 for federal recognition. And I want you to know that Congressman Hudson, Senator Burr, myself are fully committed to federal recognition of the Lumbee tribe. I want you to know that your chairman, Chairman Godwin, has been up on Capitol Hill numerous times. He was there this week. I had him with the chairman of the various committees that would get oversight to this, Chairman Bishop and Chairman Lamoffa. They were very impressed with him. He carries your story so well. And I want to thank him for his faithfulness, for his diligence, for his moral clarity. He brings enormous credibility and presence for the Lumbee people. So, Chairman Godwin, thank you for your strong leadership for the Lumbee people. You know, the Beatles had a famous song. It's called A Long and Windy Road. Well, you've been on a long and windy road, but there's an end to that road. And I don't know when that end is. I know we're making progress now, but I'm going to be on that road with you. And I'm going to walk with you, and so is Congressman Hudson and Senator Burr, until we come to that ultimate goal. It's the right thing to do. You know, I live by principle. I live by whatever is right will ultimately win out. Truth prevails. Live by truth. And it is just the right thing that you be established with recognition. So I come to pay honor to you all, a tribute that you absolutely deserve because of who you are and what you've stood for all these years. So God bless you. I stand with you as your servant. I hope that you will call on me. Public service is what it is. We are there to serve you. And you call us anytime. The chairman knows my private cell and my private email. And he can reach me anytime he wants, and he can help you do the same. God bless you.
Thank you, Congressman Pittenger. Thank you for coming and being a part of our program tonight. We're going to invite to the podium Dr. Frida Porter. She is our tribal administrator. Put this program together, and with her staff, give her a big hand as she comes to the platform tonight.
Oh, good evening. We are very honored, and I am deeply honored to be here tonight, back at the museum that I love so dearly. For many years there, actually 6 years, I got to serve on the Board of Trustees and work with this tremendous team of people that we have here, tremendous staff that have put together some great exhibitions and go across the country telling the Native story. And they allowed me during the time I was here to tell the Lumbee story. And I have to credit Kevin Gover for that. Can I get an applause for that? And we are here tonight because of their graciousness. And I would like to just say a couple of things about our Lumbee Days. This is just the most precious event. It's a historic event for the Lumbee people, and this serves as an unprecedented opportunity for us to showcase our history, our culture, and our traditions. One of the things that we have up tonight for you to preview before Lumbee Days, which begins tomorrow and lasts through Saturday, is our historic timeline. And that's a series of banners out here behind in the area where the elevators are. I hope you'll take an opportunity tonight, in case you're not here tomorrow and Saturday, to review those banners. And you'll get to see some things that you haven't seen in a while. Of course, we all cherish our hero, Henry Berry Lowry. You'll see a banner, a tribute to him. There's a tribute to our faith. And as you know, we have governed ourselves through our churches. And there's a great tribute to our churches on those banners. And another thing that I haven't heard many people talk about Mr. Vernon Cooper in a long time, but when we were working on these banners, Mr. Cooper's name came up, and I'm sure our Councilman Frank Cooper will be happy to see all of that, but Mr. Vernon Cooper was our traditional healer among the Lumbee people, and you'll get to see some things, more things about our education, our process of becoming the people we are today, and that's through our ability to go through the educational process. And we have done that at UNC Pembroke, and that is part of this whole series that you'll see in the banner, the timeline. So let me take a minute out of our program and thank this very special group of people that put this program together, made this event a reality. And for this, I've got to look at my list. I'd like to first thank our tribal council. And if, I'll try to point you out if I can find you. Mr. Bobby Oxendine, who is our speaker. Mr. Bobby, there he is, okay. Miss Janie Oxendine McFarland, who is our new vice chair. Miss Janie. Jan Lowry, who is our secretary and chair of the Health Committee. Lysandra Hunt, who is our parliamentarian and chair of the Lumbee Nation Tribal Programs. Anita Hammonds-Blanks is our Finance Committee chair, Miss Anita. Reginald Oxendine is our chair of Constitution and Ordinance Committee. Mr. Frank Cooper is the chair of Education and Culture Committee. Jared Lowry is our chair of the Federal Recognition Committee. Ricky Burnett is the chair of the Ethics Committee. Barbara Lowry is the chair of the Housing Committee. Terry Hunt is the president of Lumbee Tribe Enterprises. Ann Taylor is our new council member, and she's serving in her first term. Corbin Eddings is a new council member serving in his first term. Shelley Strickland, Jonathan Locklear, Janet Locklear, Doug Locklear, Bill James Brewington, Larry Chavas, Lakeisha Sweat, and Al Locklear. And these are our council members, and they have stepped up to support this event in a major way. I'd next like to, thank you. I'd next like to call out our sponsors. Again, without this, we would not have been able to go forward with the event. The support of the United Methodist Church has been major. The Henry Berry Lowry sponsorship, the Native American Cooperative Ministry would like to thank this group for their support of this event. Secondly, the North Carolina Conference of the United Methodist Church. So this was a major commitment on behalf of the United Methodist Church in support of Lumbee Days. The Rhoda Strong sponsorship is from the Committee on Native American Ministries, and again, that is a faction of the United Methodist Church. Pemberton Place, Cecil and Francis Butler, Dr. Jeff and Sybil Collins, Charles Alton and Sheila Maynor. A third Rhoda Strong sponsor is Tetra Tech. And a fourth sponsor is Locklear Roofing. That's Jackie Locklear of Apex. The Ball Strong sponsorship is our University of North Carolina at Pembroke. And you'll see them tomorrow. They'll have a booth here with some information promoting the North Carolina Promise Program. Then we have the Allen Lowry sponsorship, and that's our Lumbee Warriors Association. And we want to thank all our sponsors. Can I get an applause for all our sponsors? Thank you. The last thing I'd like to say about this event, I have to recognize a couple of people that have been tremendous to making this happen. There has to be a couple of people for any event to make things happen. And so I'd like to recognize, people have asked me already, well, who's behind this timeline? And so I'd like to recognize Karen Bird for her steadfast work on the timeline, her research, and all of the outside of the normal effort that she went to get it done. So Karen, thank you. And the next person I'd like to thank in a second, but you know, there's so many people, but these two people really stepped up to get this done. Ms. Kyra Lowry was always there to pull this together and help pull every aspect of it into place when you needed help to get something done. So Kyra really, and by the way, Kyra has just passed the bar this summer, and so we welcome her to the what do you call it? Association of Attorneys? To the Association of Attorneys. So that's all I want to say, but thank you to all of you who decided to come to this event. It makes it all worth putting together and putting the time into it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Porter. Well, we had opportunity today to spend with the Boys and Girls Club from our tribe, and I'm kind of putting them on the spot right now, so I'd like for our future. This is our future. Come on, boys and girls, I want you to come out here if you don't mind. Let's bring out our Boys and Girls Club. Dr. Rosemarie Townsend is the director of our Boys and Girls Club. I don't know if she's here. I passed her. Give these boys and girls a big hand if you don't mind. I just want to recognize them. Give them a big hand. This is our future right here. Our future. Dr. Townsend, I want you to come out if you would, please. I'm putting you on the spot. We had a good time with our youth today over at Arlington Cemetery, and there we laid a wreath on behalf of the Boys and Girls Club for our tribe. And so we were able to spend time with them, and Dr. Townsend is the director of that. Would you please raise your hand? Dr. Rosemarie Townsend there is our director. So thank you, boys and girls, for coming up. By the way, these young people, they were up early this morning to get here. So I'm sure they're about ready to crash. No, young people don't crash. They stay up all night. Thank you, boys and girls. God bless you. You can exit the stage now. Thank you so much. These next gentlemen are going to do a cultural presentation for our tribe, and I've gained a great appreciation for these men, Kaya, Little Turtle, Reggie Brewer, and John Oxenine, and so we're going to turn this over to these young men.
So, we're going to render some songs for you here this evening. How many of y'all is proud to be a Lumbee? Do we have any Lumbees in here? Yeah. Yeah. So, as a Lumbee, you have so much culture. You know, Lumbee are an amalgamation of various different tribes that came and settled in our tribal territories. We came from Siouan-speaking tribes, Algonquin-speaking tribes, and Iroquois-speaking tribes, and we banded together in unity so that we could survive. And so we had our own distinct community, and we banded together and made the awesome Lumbee Nation. And so because of this really intricate background, we have such a strong culture. And so these songs that we're going to sing for you this evening, these are our seed planting songs, and songs that honor life, and songs that honor our women. And so I want everybody to understand when we sing these songs and what we're doing this evening and what we're doing over the weekend. Our people have come up here over the generations and planted seeds. I told you this is a seed planting song. Our people have come for generations and planted these seeds. We're going to be planting more seeds this weekend. And very, very soon, we're going to see these seeds grow. So, here we go. Thank you. Thank you. I want to say this right quick. I know a lot of you in here knew the man Ray Little Turtle. That was my grandfather. And whenever he'd get on a mic, he would say, "It's a good day to be an Indian." And that's what I want to say to all of you. It's a good day to be an Indian. It's a good day to be a Lumbee. Thank you.
Thank you guys for our presentation. We're going to call to the podium now Reverend Dr. Ken Locklear. He is the District Superintendent for the North Carolina Conference of the United Methodist Church. Dr. Ken.
Good evening. Kevin Gover is the director of the Smithsonian's National Museum of the American Indian and a citizen of the Pawnee Nation of Oklahoma. Since he began as director in 2007, the museum has opened 4 critically acclaimed exhibitions: Fritz Shoulder, Brian Junger, Infinity of Nations, and A Song for the Horse Nation. Kevin served as the Assistant Secretary for Indian Affairs in the U.S. Department of Interior from 1997 to 2000 under President Bill Clinton, where he won praise for his efforts to rebuild long-neglected Indian schools and expand tribal and Bureau of Indian Affairs police forces throughout the country. His tenure as Assistant Secretary is perhaps best known for his apology to Native American people for the historical conduct of the Bureau of Indian Affairs. After leaving office in 2000, Kevin practiced law at Steptoe & Johnson LLP in Washington. In 2003, he joined the faculty at Sandra Day O'Connor College of Law at Arizona State University and served on the faculty of the university's Indian legal programs. In addition to his professional work, Kevin has served on several boards and committees, including the Federal Bar Association and the American Bar Association, the Southwestern Association for Indian Art, Futures for Children, the Grand Canyon Trust, the Federal Home Loan Bank of Dallas, and the Salt River Development Company. Kevin received his bachelor's degree in Public and International Affairs from the Woodrow Wilson School at Princeton University and his Juris Doctorate degree from New Mexico's College of Law. He was awarded an Honorary Doctorate of Laws degree from Princeton in 2001. Since we are here in his house, we will not welcome him, but would you join me in thanking this great Native American leader?
Well, good evening, everyone. Good evening. I do want to welcome you all to the National Museum of the American Indian. This museum, the museum we're in today, opened 13 years ago, almost to the day, September 21, 2004. And shortly thereafter, 3 years later, I was given the opportunity to become the director of the museum. So I didn't have to build it, but I get to drive it. And I've never had such an opportunity in my life. As you heard, I'm a Pawnee Indian. I'm from Oklahoma. But I have had the opportunity to go to school on the East Coast. And before too long, I learned that there were Indians in places other than Oklahoma, which, believe me, I didn't know until I left there. I thought they had moved all of the Indians to Oklahoma at some point. Fortunately, I learned better and spent some time here in Washington and began to meet different Lumbee people over the course of time. And so I became aware at a relatively young age of the presence of the Lumbee people in North Carolina and, of course, all across the United States. This festival is one of a series that we have been doing. We invite tribes from across the United States to hold cultural festivals to tell our visitors about the history and culture of each of these tribes. One of the things that museums do that I find kind of curious is that we pretend, we aspire, we want to present an authentic representation of Native American history and culture. And I learned very quickly as I began traveling in this job and going to visit tribal museums, visit tribal leaders all across the country, that we weren't going to be able to do that there was really no way that a museum can present in an authentic manner the history and culture of the many different tribal nations of the country. And the reason for that is very simple. Only the people themselves can present something that is genuinely authentic. And so we began to think differently about our museum and tried not to talk so much about authenticity in our exhibitions because we're just museum guys. And what does a Pawnee really know about the Lumbee people? So I wasn't going to stand up and pretend I was an expert on these things. And instead, we initiated this program of tribal festivals where we have the true experts come and tell people about themselves. So over the course of the next few days, several thousand people will come to our museum and they will learn directly from you what the Lumbee people are all about, what your history is, what your culture is, and they will come away changed by this knowledge. Now, our visitors are just like most Americans, really. What they know about Indians, they either learned in school or on television, which means basically they think all Indians were horse Indians and we all wore those big war bonnets. Maybe some of them think we still do and think we still live in teepees. But we, of course, know that that's not the case. And we know that Native America is a vast and diverse place, and that the history and culture of each tribe is genuinely distinct. And that's what we want our visitors to come away knowing. Who knows, they may have never heard of the Lumbee tribe, but if they come here and see you and hear your stories, they will go away knowing who you are. And that gives them as close as we can come to an authentic experience. Now, I've had the good fortune to be in Lumbee country a couple of times in just the last few years. A few years ago, Dr. Porter arranged for me to be the commencement speaker at the University of North Carolina, Pembroke. And I had just a wonderful experience and really at that time saw the support that our museum has in Lumbee country. And there were many of your citizens and many of the businesses that they operate were very generous in offering support to the museum at that time. Now, about a year and a half ago, I got the chance to go back. As you hopefully know, this museum has been authorized by Congress to build a National Native American Veterans Memorial. And that memorial will be here on our grounds. In fact, we're thinking that it might be right outside those doors in this amphitheater area. And this will be the official Native American Veterans Memorial in the country. So in order to try to do that right, once again, we realize that the only authentic voices on the experience of Native American veterans are Native American veterans themselves. And one of the places that we wanted to be in order to talk to veterans was in Lumbee country. And so we did have a consultation meeting there. Your tribe was generous enough to host that session. And we heard from all these terrific Native veterans that you have there in Lumbee country. One in particular was very meaningful to me, and he's since passed away. But I got to meet someone I had actually heard of, Jesse Oxendine. And Jesse told me his story and how he fought in Patton's army and helped to liberate concentration camps in Europe. And you know, one of the things that we think about a lot when we're working on this memorial is to try to get veterans to help us understand why they chose to serve a country that historically has done us wrong and in many ways continues to do us wrong. And that's what we hope to be able to convey in this memorial, is that this was not some casual decision. These veterans were fully aware of the irony and the poignancy of choosing to serve a country that had so often broken its promises to their people. And I have come to think of it as being a very deep patriotism, that in many ways these Indian veterans believe in the promise of the United States much more deeply than other Americans do, because we've not yet experienced it, I think. And so we'll be asking for your help on that. You've already helped us a great deal, but we'll be coming back and asking for more help because we're going to have to build this entirely on private funds. We can't use our federal funds to build this memorial, but that's the way it is with all the memorials. We're not complaining about that. We're just going to have to go out there and make that happen. In order for that to happen, we're going to need support from every tribe in the country, including the Lumbee tribe. So let me just say once again how grateful we are that the Lumbee tribe would go to the trouble and the expense of coming here to work with our visitors and send them away with an authentic experience of Native Americans. And you heard it said that this was my museum, but that is not the case. This is your museum, and you are always welcome here. So I'm going to present this plaque to your chairman in appreciation of the Lumbee tribe hosting this festival at our museum this weekend. Mr. Chairman, thank you for all that you do for us, for Indian country, and for the Lumbee people. The chairman just reminded me of something I meant to mention, which is when I was last in Pembroke, I had, and Frida's sister, I'm sorry, I don't remember her name, but Frida's sister had us over to dinner, and I had absolutely the best fried chicken and strawberry cake I've had in my life.
This is one of my favorites. It's a Pine Straw Basket by Mr. Herman and Miss Loretta Oxendine. And on behalf of the Lumbee tribe, I'd like to present this to you, Mr. Gover. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Director Cover. We want a couple of things we want to share with you about the Lumbee Days and the next 2 days we're going to be doing here at the Smithsonian. By the way, Lumbee Days does not mean golf carts circling the Smithsonian. Everybody from Pembroke, you know what I'm talking about, right? So Lumbee Days is not golf carts circling the Smithsonian. Here's what's going to be going on the next 2 days here at the Smithsonian. So want to get everybody's attention. For those of you that are going to be coming back in the next 2 days, these are some of the exhibitors that you're going to be seeing here at the Smithsonian. We're going to be doing stone carving, pine needle basking, quilting. The veterans are going to have a booth. We're going to have a young lady that's going to be making lye soap. For those of you that don't know what lye soap is, you've got to come back and find out what lye soap is. Gourd making, also we're going to have that. And then also Sinead's Jewelry with her pine needle, award-winning pine needle patchwork. Miss Sinead's going to be here with that as well. Also, Miss Jessica Clark is going to do a live demonstration, artist demonstration, also in the next 2 days. So there's a lot of things going to be going on in the next 2 days. Now here is the best part. Please don't miss this. I need everybody's attention. If you miss this, you're going to miss out on something real good. We're not only going to have the exhibitors here, but we also are going to have a taste of Lumbee food. So that means you can't have Lumbee food without Mr. Eric Locklear with Fuller's Barbecue. Everybody say, woo! Also, Mr. Patrick Dial with Big Boy Catering is going to be here as well. Give them two guys a big hand. And then we have a chef. Mr. Lester Locklear from Robinson Community College is going to be here, also helping out in the food that's going to be going on in a couple of days. The only sad thing about what's taking place with the food, something that I'm very partial to, is not on the menu. That's fried chicken. Those of you that are looking for fried chicken, Eric Locklear said, the tribal chairman said no fried chicken. So we don't have any fried chicken. Believe me, I will have a powwow with him when we get back to Robinson County for not having fried chicken on the menu. So we're going to have a long talk with him about that. One more thing before we have a little video presentation. At both entrances here into the Smithsonian, you'll find a place that you can donate to the museum. Some of you have asked about that, and so at the entrance points into the Smithsonian, you have some places that you can donate. So if you want to donate tonight, go ahead and pull out your checkbook and write it out. If you've got some cash, I'm sure Director Cover can also set up some debit machines somewhere, and you can donate here to the Smithsonian. By the way, I want to encourage you to please do that. Donate to the Smithsonian. That's the video. Also, Strike at the Wind, we're going to have a little skit with that as well in the next 2 days. There are going to be a couple events like that going on, so please keep that in mind. I think you don't want to miss that. Corbin Evans and his good wife's going to be doing that, so we'd like to invite you to be here for that. Next, we're going to have a little video presentation.
Hello, I'm Harvey Godwin Jr., Chairman of the Lumbee Tribe. I come to you today to give you an update on the Culture Center Lake. As you've seen over the past few weeks, we've tried to keep you informed through the process of the FEMA work that's happening at the Culture Center. The lake is a significant part of that and very important to the Lumbee people. As you know, in the past few weeks, we had to drain the lake in order to perform an engineering survey. And that was performed on August 21st, the same day as the eclipse. But we have those parameters of the lake now. During that process, we found some invasive species of fish and vegetation and littering that all need to be cleaned up and purified to make it natural as it should be. So that when we're finished, we will have a vibrant lake that's environmentally sound, that will be safe and a fun place for our people to enjoy themselves for the 50 years to come, just like we've enjoyed it from the past 50 years from our ancestors first built it in the 1960s. So keep us in your prayers continuously in this process. It will take several more months to get where we need to be, but we'll get there together. Thank you for your comments and your support in this endeavor, and God bless you.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I do want to get your attention. I know this is a reception, and I know we have a lot of people. You're talking, but I want to invite to the podium our tribal chairman, Mr. Harvey Godwin. Give him a big hand as he comes to address us tonight. And I would just ask you if you would. I know you're talking to other people around, but let's give him attention as he comes to speak to us this afternoon. Harvey, would you come?
He sounds like he's in church. He does that in church a lot. Good evening. It's good to be here. What I'm looking at is a lot of beautiful people, and I'm so thankful that you came tonight. I'd like to introduce my wife, Sheila. She's here somewhere. My sons, Cody, Quinn, our granddaughter, Journey. Marina's over there somewhere. So thank you for coming tonight as well. I want to talk to you a little bit about Lumbee core values. You've heard me talk about this before, which are value in education, belief in faith in God, protecting our culture and our identity, connection to the land. And what you just saw was part of our connection to the land. We didn't survive without having the connection to the land, especially in the swamps of Robeson County where we originated from. And we have some of the descendants from Robeson County swamps that relocated years ago, like the Baltimore people over here with Miss Linda Cox and Mr. B.J. Hunt, who is their pastor. And thank you for your hospitality last week when I came out to see you. There's also some D.C. Lumbees in here, professional Lumbees. So I'd like to thank you for coming. Julia Pierce is somewhere here. Julian's daughter, who is my greatest mentor. But as far as our culture, you've seen this tonight with Kaya, John Stickboy, and Reggie Brewer. They're doing great things with our culture, especially with our culture class on Monday nights, where they have over 100 people coming in with all ages, getting back to our culture and enhancing our culture in many different ways. So we have cultural leadership now in young men and older men and elders and youth. They're all engaged now, and this is what we need. Without this piece of our identity, we'll never achieve full fellow recognition. But it's much deeper than that, as we all know. I'd like to thank our elders for being here this weekend, especially Dr. Joanne Lowry and the group that she brought with her, and the good work they're doing in our 16 elders groups throughout our tribal territory. I would like to put in an advertisement for some nays. Thank them for coming. They made this bolo, they made this pin, and they made this ring I got on, and they made these cufflinks. So they're very talented. And I'd like to thank Miss Loretta and Herman Oxendine for all the things they do. They made Kaya's bonnet, and they made a hat for me, which you'll see later. I'd like to thank UNCP for the educational part of our heritage. Without Indian Normal School, where would we be? That's part of who we are. And it's sustained us, and it's kept us strong. I'd like to thank the spiritual leaders that are here today. And if you would, anyone who is a minister of faith, would you please stand? We're pretty diverse in our faith. When you have Dr. Cummins back there, and he's there right with the Methodists, sitting right with the Methodists. That's good. I like that. Lumbee cuisine. I think Friday, as the preacher Tim said, is not fried chicken Friday, but it is spot Friday. So we have spots on Friday. I'd like to thank our warriors and everything that they do. I want to thank the Lumbee warriors for being here as our honor guard, but also for all the things that they do for our veterans through our Veterans Club and through our Veterans Association, through the tribe, and all the veterans that they help who are American Indian and non-Indian. Today we had a wreath laying ceremony at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, something we thought about a few months ago, and Dr. Rosemary Lowry Townsend made it happen. We had two of our Boys and Girls Club, Tyree Sampson and Sierra Mullen, who are also ROTC students, and they actually carried down the wreath. And I encourage you to look online tonight and see that. It was very significant in that we were able to do that. The wreath is in tribal colors. Dr. Townsend had a pine cone patch with actual pine cones made in the middle, and it says Lumbee Tribe Boys and Girls Club. I actually met some other natives from across the country that were there for different reasons. But as we stood there on the top of those steps looking down, waiting for our host to come get us and escort us down the steps, and we had Reggie Brewer standing up in full regalia, and we had Larry Townsend standing there in Lumbee Warriors regalia. And as we stood there waiting, a red-tailed hawk swooped down over the tomb of the unknown soldier, went up into a tree. It was powerful medicine, and I was proud to be able to be a part of that. I'll remember it forever, and so would the Boys and Girls Club. At our Boys and Girls Club, we're focusing on 500 at a time. The Lumbee Tribe has 7 Boys and Girls Club in 3 of our 4 districts, and we're helping them in many ways, in culture. We're helping them educationally with tutors. We're helping them with the Lumbee Tribe Garden that was at the Culture Center this summer, where they learn how to get back to their land, where they learn how to grow healthy, cook healthy, and eat healthy again. So we're trying to bolster the public schools around us by bolstering our youth that when they go into the public schools, that they will make them stronger. Maybe they'll share their wisdom and what they're learning in the Boys and Girls Club with others in the school system. And with our veterans, I'd like to ask all of us here, including the Tribal Council, most importantly, thank you for the passing of the legislation to allow us to be here tonight. If you had not done that, this event would not be taking place. But I would like to take it a step further. I would like to challenge us all as the Lumbee Tribe to make a donation to the National Native American Veterans Memorial at some time in the future. It's right that we do that. It's right that we respect our Lumbee veterans who have fallen over times of history. And we must honor them in any way we can, and the Lumbee name has to be on that memorial. Our tribal operations for this event tonight, I really want to thank Dr. Farida Porter. Without her and her position as tribal administrator, this would not take place, even if we had the money. She has been a beacon and a strong arm for her people. She's a scientist. She understands the environment. She understands business. She understands her culture. So she is a great asset to the Lumbee people. And you must remember, no matter where you live, if you're Lumbee, you own $63 million in assets. If you're an enrolled member of the Lumbee Tribe, you own, along with the rest of us, $63 million in assets. Where our government in the past, since 2011, has leveraged our NAHASDA funds to build housing facilities for our elders and single-family homes and community buildings and Boys and Girls Clubs, all of which are very successful in all of Indian country. But also with the Native American Housing and Self-Determination Act funds, we've also have low-income home energy assistance program. This is LIHEAP, and I don't know if Patrick Strickland is here. He's in charge of that. But we have the coach. We have the trainer. Patrick is hired on the side to go out and teach other tribes to operate this program the way the Lumbees do. It's one of the top programs in the country, and Patrick Strickland is responsible for that. We also have our Community Service Block Grant. Boys and Girls Club of America. I had a meeting with the regional manager out of New Mexico a few weeks ago and put it in writing, sent it back to me because I did request it. But she said that the Lumbee Tribe Boys and Girls Club is #1 in Indian country, where at the effect of implementing our culture into all the Boys and Girls programs that we have at the Lumbee Tribe. And like the Native Daughters where we're at domestic violence, where we've helped hundreds of abused women and children. Vocational rehab, Miss Celeste Hunt, she's here somewhere. Her program is the most successful in Indian country, #1 in Indian country. And what's important about this is because she helps people who have disabilities. It could be mild or severe. She has spent many thousands of dollars at UNC Pembroke, at Robinson Community College, by helping people with disabilities to go back to school. And she has the #1 program in Indian country. Our tribal VA supported housing, tribal VASH program helps many homeless vets. And all this helps us, our Lumbee people, achieve a better quality of life. So really this is kind of a somber night for me in a lot of ways, but it's a celebration as well. But since Matthew, last October 8th, Matthew came through Lumbee country down in North Carolina. We still have 500 families of all races without homes. We still have 10% of our workforce that's somewhere besides where they were living before. But since the hurricane, we've been established a successful operation of North Carolina Housing Finance Agency, Essential Family Home Rehabilitation, and we have a pool. We're using that money to help people get back into their housing. We have a FEMA team that is at the tribe every day. They're right now helping us prepare for Irma. We have a unique partnership with FEMA, the first one ever with a state-recognized tribe with, well, I should say a non-fully federal recognized tribe and the federal government. We're the first tribe to do that. We're building the dream catcher communities where we're about to, with HUD funding through Title VI, we're going to build 50 homes, and we're going to build another 50 behind that in 3 communities. And I'd like to thank the Tribal Council again for helping us with that. We're rehabbing the swimming pool. We're rehabbing the stickball field with an arbor where we have our Dancing Spring Moon Powwow. And we also have our 8A certification, which is producing profits right now, and we'll release that information very soon. On September the 7th, this very day, a year ago, I was sitting in front of the Senate Subcommittee on Indian Affairs, and I was the 17th person to go before them to talk about full federal recognition for the Lumbee. And that was hard. I'd never done that before. But as you can see tonight, we have political elected officials who are right there helping us get this done. And Hurricane Irma is coming to North Carolina. It is coming to Lumbee country, and we know this. And we'd like for you to keep us in your prayers on that. We already have our emergency plan in place, and as soon, or I may have to leave soon, sooner than I anticipated, but we'll see. But our team back there is ready, partnering with the other emergency plans throughout the state of North Carolina. The thing about HUD is this, and I got a call today from HUD in Chicago. Last year, a week before the hurricane, I had called HUD and asked them, could they help us if it hits us? And what could they do with housing funds to help us? And they said, well, there's imminent threat funds available just in case it does hit. And you're eligible for $1 million of that, except you're not fully federally recognized. I heard the same thing again today. So tomorrow, the first thing I'm going to do is get on the phone with my team and see if we can get some congressmen to call HUD and release this money to the Lumbee tribe so that we can be eligible for that. We already have a government-to-government relationship with the state and federal government, so this makes no sense to where they wouldn't help us in the hurricane situation. But full federal recognition has to happen. My great-grandfather in 1888 was one of the original petitioners for full federal recognition. Maybe some of you in this room, your relatives were also. But what full federal recognition will do for our tribe is unprecedented. It's not about the money. It's not about casinos. It's about one of the things that two reasons I ran for this office in the first place was to try to eradicate poverty and try to eradicate youth food insecurity. And with full federal recognition for the Lumbee tribe, we can do that. We can help those who can't help themselves. We have in this room very successful people. You make your own way, the Lumbees always have. We're very diverse, we're very talented. We have over 300 Lumbee entrepreneurships in Robinson County alone. So we're very successful already. But what it will do, it will help educationally. It would help with health care. My mother stayed in intensive care for 2 weeks before she passed away at the age of 90, and those health bills were very high. But if she hadn't been a retired school teacher, we might not have been able to afford to pay those health bills, and there's some that can't pay them. That's what full fair recognition will do, and help our elders. And then it'll help your youth. Maybe they won't have to suffer with diabetes and heart problems. Maybe we can be proactive with full fair recognition health dollars to help them be healthier. So they won't have to go to the doctor as much when they get older. Or maybe they won't have these ailments and take a handful of pills like some of us have to do just to function every day, like for our hearts and for strokes and for cholesterol and all the other things. So this is what it's going to do for our people. It's going to be pride and knowing that we can stand with any tribe in America, and that the discrimination that we have suffered from other tribes saying we're not Indian enough will be on the same level. But that's the thing about that. That's in their eyes. In our eyes, we know who we are. We've always known. We know tonight. We're the mighty Lumbee tribe. So every one of you in this room is a lobbyist. Every person in this room is a lobbyist. All you have to do is use these devices we have. Use that to contact your congressman. Get their cell phone numbers. I got Pillinger's and I got the others. I'll give them to you. Call them. Encourage them. Those of you that don't live in our tribal territory, you live elsewhere, call them. Encourage them. Now's the time. Between now and Christmas is the time to really put the full court pressure on them. Let's make it happen. We can make it happen. We don't have the money to pay lobbyists millions of dollars, and we don't have the time. If you go through the acknowledgement process, you're talking about 15 to 20 years. Well, that's past my projected lifespan at this point. Let's get it done now. We can make this happen with our elected officials right now. So I beg of you to consider that. Make those phone calls. Call your friends. There's some in here probably got 5,000 Facebook friends. Tell them, call them. Let's make it happen. But there's one thing I love about the Lumbee people, and what I see is a change. I see, no matter what you read on Facebook, I do have a cousin here that doesn't say too many bad things about me, Danny Bell. Thank you, Danny, for being here. But hate in the world, and it's taking hurricanes, it looks like, to bring us back together, but hate amongst us cannot exist. Hate amongst the members of the Lumbee tribe cannot exist. Hate between the Lumbee people and the Tuscarora cannot exist. Hate between us and the Eastern Band cannot exist. The tribal governments have politically clashed like this, and they dictate those types of things. But culturally, our culture team has led powwows at the Eastern Band powwow in July. You know, our culture people and the other cultures are like this. And this has got to funnel up to the governments to where we start working together. But only one thing and one thing only. And Preacher Tim taught me this and told me this a long time ago, but he expounds on it quite frequently. And I believe it in my heart. The only thing that'll break down this hate amongst us all is love. Love is the only thing that can break it down. And when we start loving each other tribally, culturally, spiritually, educationally, with all our hearts and minds, we're going to go beyond limits that we've never been before. So God bless you, and thank you for being here. Now I would like to say the women in my life are strong women. The women in your lives are strong women. I see a lot of them out there. I can ask any Lumbee man and they'll tell us that. But I know one woman that's got a backbone, a real backbone, and she's proven it time and time again. She stepped out and supported me when she didn't have to. She put her reputation on the line. But this is a woman with a backbone. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Charlie Lowry, and Miss Sierra Locklear.
All right. Well, I'd like to say that, I don't, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think we've ever had a chairman in the past to relate to our people and talk about our fight for federal recognition and talk about education and spirituality and things of those nature the way that Chairman Godwin does. And I appreciate that because he speaks to us on a common level. And it means a lot as a young Native woman. And it's not a problem for me to stand behind him in his words because he acts. He doesn't just talk. He put a lot of action and thought into the things that he does for our people. So I greatly appreciate that. And I want to thank all of our elders that have made the journey to be here. And I hope you feel, I know a lot of you feel proud to be here. It's a historical moment and few days that we have, and I'm honored to be able to perform for you. And I want to say hello to our brothers and sisters from Baltimore, and all of the other surrounding states and everyone that's come across the country to be here. We love you. And if you ever want us to come back up here and sing for you, I'll be glad to, any day.
All right. Once again, thank you for having us tonight. It is definitely an honor to be here. Music has a way of tying us all together, no matter where we're from. When words fail, music definitely speaks. We as Lumbee people have to walk in two worlds, both traditional and contemporary. Our contemporary music has been influenced by gospel, country, rock, and definitely Motown. There's a lot of songs that are staples of our community events, of our everyday lives. Next two songs we're going to do is just an example of that. This song is called You're Mine. It's an original I wrote back a few years ago, so I hope you enjoy it. Came home yesterday. You kissed me like forever. Hey baby, I'm on my way. I need for you to hold me so you can tell me it'll be okay. It'll be alright. It'll be okay. It'll be alright. 'Cause you're mine.
next song, a lot of you may be familiar with it. Miss Aretha Franklin, Natural Woman. Looking out on the pouring rain, I used to feel so uninspired. And when I knew I had to face another day, Lord, it made me feel so tired. Before the day I met you, life was so unkind. Now you're the key to my peace of mind. 'Cause you make me feel, you make me feel, see, you make me feel like a natural woman. And when my soul was in the lost and found, you came along to claim me. See, I didn't know just what was wrong with me. To your kiss, help me name it. Now I'm no longer doubtful of what I'm living for. But if I make you happy, I don't need to do more. 'Cause you make me feel, you make me feel, see, you make me feel like a natural woman. Oh, baby, what you done to me, what you done to me. Ooh, you make me feel so good inside, good inside. And I wanna be close to you, 'cause you make me feel so alive. You make me feel, you make me feel, you make me feel like a natural woman. Oh, you make me feel, you make me feel, you make me feel like a natural woman. Hey, all right. This next song, want to dedicate to the Lumbee Warriors Association. I'd like to dedicate it to our veterans, those who are currently serving in the armed forces, and the men and women in our tribe who have paid the ultimate sacrifice for our country. This song is called Hometown Hero. And if any of you in the audience have a loved one that you've lost, and you're looking forward to the day that you'll be reunited with them again, think of them while we sing this song. Hometown hero, lost alive today. On the day folks try their best, but sometimes it's just hard to explain. Oh, stripped away from a lover's arms, and Sometimes I wish on a falling star, and I wonder how high up you are. Thinking to myself, oh, it feels so nice to believe in another world, and I'll be waiting to see your face again. I'll be waiting, oh, waiting, yeah. No, I didn't have a chance to say goodbye. I'll say hello in the afterlife, just like the first time we met. Oh, and oh, you give me the sweetest memories. Oh, and oh, you'll always, always mean the world to me, and that's why I'll be waiting to see your face again. I'll be waiting, oh, waiting, yeah. Though I didn't have a chance to say goodbye, I'll say hello in the afterlife, just like the first time we met. I'll be waiting to see your face again. I'll be waiting, oh, waiting, yeah. Oh, I didn't have a chance to say goodbye. I'll say hello in the afterlife, just like the first time we met. Just like the first time we met, just like the first time we met. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We've got one more song for you. It's been a pleasure. And unfortunately, I have to leave tomorrow morning, so I'm not going to get any spots. Not going to get any chicken and pastry. Chicken and pastry, I think. I'm going to miss out, but be sure to take in all of the exhibitions, all of the art, beautiful pine needle baskets, and the beautiful jewelry from Sine's. Yes, representing. Last song is going to be a little backbone for you. And our people have plenty of it. We always have. No. I said, no, 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 no. No rest, no rest. I get no rest. 'Cause there's no rest, there's no rest. No rest. Gotta have a backbone, backbone. Gotta have a backbone, backbone. Gotta have a backbone, backbone, backbone. Gotta have a backbone, gotta have a backbone, backbone. Gotta have a backbone, backbone. Gotta have a backbone, backbone, backbone. Gotta have a backbone when things don't go your way. You can't tuck your tail and hide. Gotta have a backbone, backbone. Gotta have a backbone. Ooh, from the cradle to the grave comes more and more with age. Gotta have a backbone, backbone. Gotta have a backbone. When you're down, down, down in the valley. Say when you're down, down, down so low. Oh, when you're down, down, down in the valley. Well, that's when you've got to have a backbone. Gotta have a backbone, backbone. Gotta have a backbone, backbone. Gotta have a backbone, backbone, backbone. You gotta have a backbone. What about Martin? And what about Franklin? And what about Henry Bear? All through history, backbones for victory. No pain, no gain, no rest for the weary. Now what don't kill you makes you stronger. You will win in the end. Whoa, what don't kill you makes you stronger. You've got to get up and take a stand, stand, yeah. Gotta have a backbone, backbone. Gotta have a backbone, backbone. Gotta have a backbone, backbone, backbone. You gotta have a backbone, yeah. Oh, backbone, backbone. Come on, yeah, backbone. Gotta have a backbone, backbone. Gotta have a backbone, backbone. Gotta have a backbone, backbone, backbone. You gotta have a backbone, gotta have a backbone, backbone. Gotta have a backbone, backbone. Gotta have a backbone, backbone, backbone. You gotta have a backbone. Thank you, everybody. I love you. We love you. Y'all be safe and have fun. Thank you.